Hello everyone and happy Halloween to all. Welcome to a brand new video of Fox Flicks On. Today we're checking out a new video, well actually an old video from a channel called BP Bludgeoned of him making some spooky Ultra Beasts. And it actually fits because this video came out 1 year ago, almost to the day of this recording. So let's celebrate Halloween with some spooky, scary Ultra Beast.
Other side of an ultra wormhole, everyone. And allow me to share with you on this Hallows, whenever you see this, another series of crafty tales. This time,
It is an
it's
All Hallows
personal,
Eve
as we face
for
a
you.
cavalcade of my own personal demons given flesh. So join
check
us
it.
on this Hallows, whenever you see this, as we
Come on.
dissect the inner workings of my very own Ultra Beasts.
Nice. The Legends Workshop Halloween Edition. Let's do this. Show us what you got.
I love the Ultra Beasts so much. What better way to make the zaniest and most ridiculous designs for such a big roster than to hand-wave them as aliens? I'll always love Sun and Moon for
they
many
are, aren't
reasons,
they?
but these guys top them. So of course I had to make some for my Fakemon collection, but for the sake of the Halloween spirit, I wanted to take a different spin. Why settle for making anything into an Ultra Beast when I can dig deep and base them on what scares me, or what used to scare me? I've made Fakemon on my basic fears like spiders and creepy folklore from Norfolk, but what about those
Neat.
really specific childhood
Like, actually really
traumas?
neat.
Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of very traumatic incidents people have had that you shouldn't be laughing at.
We all
I
have
should know,
trauma
I've
we
been
can
through
make
some
in
of
the
these too. In
monsters.
fact, one of these Ultra Beasts does get a bit heavy, but the others are all based on things that scared the bejeebus out of me, despite being completely harmless. Some of them are genuine
Exactly
horror,
like
others
what
are
we saw with
really
Dead
stupid.
Bedspread.
And I'm turning 5 of them into my own Ultra Beasts. Unlike all the
Let's
other
do
Fakemon
this.
that I've shown so far, these Ultra Beasts were made specifically for this video and not
Including the
2-4.
Reggies.
Maybe they could be canon to 2-4, but I could say that for any new Fakemon I make for this channel. But that's not important right now. I'm gonna begin with the heavier Ultra Beasts that I mentioned, so we can crack on with the fun ones for the rest of the video.
Alright, makes sense.
UB Insanity was born from
Ooh.
my fear of insanity. We've all seen those silly posts where someone says, I don't
Insects
suffer
and
from insanity, I enjoy every minute of it. And if you haven't, well, you have now. Real talk,
I actually like
insanity
that.
is
That wasn't too
truly
bad.
terrifying. Losing a sense of self and control, almost like dying before you're even dead. If I may go a bit glum for a
to a
second,
degree.
my ADHD and autism makes me lose track of what I'm doing or act on impulse against my own will sometimes. And I'm worried about that getting
can be
worse.
bad.
Not the nicest thought for Halloween, but it's what made this thing a thing. I wanted it to look more like some mad scientist, but the brain-patterned head and crooked demeanor shows its underlying dark origins.
I like
it's also
it.
based on a crane fly, which I hate. They're not scary,
cool.
but they're very annoying. And the way they fumble around against a wall instead of crawling or flying straight is why I associate them with lack of control. That's also why I decided to have the legs
It's like
wrapped
it's
around
drunk.
the torso, with the end sticking out like it's wearing a straitjacket, but I didn't want to just
Ooh.
draw it wearing a straitjacket. And I think the legs being
did a
tied to its
clever
body
idea.
is more unnerving anyway. A little claustrophobic, which is another fear that I have.
Nice.
No, but for the sake of this video, let's say yes. Besides, that was the worst one out of the way, so I think it's time to lighten up.
You
I
being
remember
Sandy,
from most of my
crazy,
childhood, I
but
found the
good.
moon to be pretty scary. These days, I have no idea why, but still, I used to be haunted by
moon's
nightmares of the
scary?
moon being too close to the Earth, or me falling away from Earth and being suspended between two celestial bodies. Certain levels
Oh,
in games where
almost
there was
like
a
the
big
Black
moon in
Moon.
the sky used to scare me as a result, like Hang
SCP-001,
Castle and Sonic
the
Heroes,
Black
and I'm
Moon.
pretty sure it's why I'm drawn to
excuse
planet-themed
me.
entities and media. I just find them fascinatingly terrifying. For this Ultra Beast, I not only
I
thought
know
about
that
that old
smiling
fear
moon.
of mine, but also some of the theories surrounding
one that
the
was
big
down on this
2012
area of it.
apocalypse scare, which I'll admit did cause me a couple anxiety attacks back in the day. One such theory was the idea of planet Nibiru, or Planet X, entering our solar system, defying laws of physics, and impacting Earth before we would notice. I mean, because you use a name from
how?
pop culture for a planet doesn't mean your prophecy holds water. So, in honor of all the sleepless nights I had to tolerate all those years ago, here's a Wrecking Ball Ultra Beast. UB
Ooh.
Collision refers to the small planetoid and the red
UB
ribbon it has wrapped
Collision.
around the boulder.
I
This
like
Pokemon
it.
isn't that big. I'd say both bodies together match the same height as Stakataka, but the asteroid could still
Not
demolish
bad.
a building if swung hard enough. You can see the obvious Planet X reference, and the asteroid has a
I can
face
see
on
it.
it as well. Sure, it's not an actual face, but it's meant to represent the man on the moon because of my old dread of it. Maybe this could emote on its own, like the ribbons may be moved to make different expressions, but the Pokemon
can
itself
see
is
that.
simply meant to be the smaller body, so I don't want to draw too much attention to the boulder. Now for
Okay, hold on. I was just going to say, so this is the Mon, and this is just an item that's with it. Kind of like that Koala Mon who's always got the log.
For simply Norfolk inspiration for this next one. I've already covered some Norfolk tales with my regular Fakemon, like I did with Black Shuck. One other strange phenomenon I've seen on my night walks are some silent floating lights drifting through the fields and woods. Last October, I saw one no more than 100 meters away from me before it took off deeper into the woods. Floating lights, please, that's normal. It's just some other people with the torches out, I hear you cry. Look, I know a lot about the outdoors, okay? I can tell a torch light from a car light. I can see the way the torch bobs when someone is holding it. I can see the person holding said torch because I have a super bright light, and I can hear when someone else is walking nearby because I've walked through the woods in the dark for the last 10 years, so I know how to figure it out.
Yeah, so this is a wisp.
This isn't the first time I had this argument, Geo. One person thought I was looking at a plane and mistook it for a ghost. And when telling the story to people who would actually listen, some have said that my encounter sounds very close to the Norfolk tale of the Lantern Men. Lantern Men are glowing specters that try to lure people into following their lights, and those who do are never seen again. If these are the Lantern Men and they want to kill me, they need to stop flying off into private areas of the woods. Might help their win-loss ratio. And that chance encounter became the inspiration of UB Illuminate. Thanks to Kartana, I feel I can make a small Ultra Beast and get away with it. Maybe this one could evolve. Can't say I considered that until now, but there's plenty of chances for me to revisit these in the future. I didn't want to make a ghost type despite the Lantern Men being a ghost story, because I have another ghost coming up later. So it's an alien drifting through the woods and it glows. Fairy it is. I came up with the hands holding the lid first, and the center was gonna be separate, but joining it together looks better in my opinion. But yeah, if you think Illuminate could use an evolution, I'll maybe do a follow-up later. The inspiration for this one scares me the least, because truth be told, I'd be more afraid of finding another human.
Ooh, the evolution could be like it's got like it's holding onto two lanterns beside it, and like some kind of like a ferryman post or something. Crap, y'all out there, you know what I'm trying to say or think of? You know what I'm talking about? Happy Halloween again.
In the dark than a ghost. Okay, so this one, while not as real as UB Insanity, is definitely scarier for me. I don't know about you guys. So you can't mention old traumas without bringing up a movie or two. And it's very strange because growing up, I sat through movies like Species, Saw, and Halloween without much of an issue, but the one thing I had to hide away from was that one scene in Indiana Jones. You know the one. The Ark of the Covenant scene where their faces melt off. I'm not showing the whole scene here. Yeah,
no, we get what you're talking about.
Only thing I can't manage. And this got worse when I sat through the movies The Blob and Street Trash. Ugh. One of those was meant to be a comedy. Just extend the Ark of the Covenant scene by a couple hours and watch me squirm. Like, it isn't scary that it could happen in real life. It's scary because I don't want to look at it. It's just real fucking nasty. People getting slaughtered, crushed, and skewered. What's new? But melt movies? I straight up refuse. Though I should mention that forcing myself to look these up for the sake of this video kinda helped my fear a little, even if I nearly had a panic attack and felt sick doing so. Yeah, while I'd prefer to avoid these movies like the plague, I did tell myself I'd be making Ultra Beasts based on my old fears. So let's turn something so horrific into something goofy. This is UB Corrosion.
Oh.
No! No! Switch that off! Was that Yu-Gi-Oh? Okay, who was that? We don't do that here.
It's not me.
Corrosive
it's not
is specifically based not on that, but a particular scene from The Blob, where the guy who made the monster is caught by it and killed. He's wearing a hazmat suit and gets pulled into a sewer drain before the Blob is seen entering his suit and pulling him down. Somehow that's still the least brutal death in the movie. This gremlin is full of a questionable substance to the point where the arms, legs, and head are swollen beyond recognition. By doing that and giving it a more extraterrestrial design, it leaves the Pokemon's origins up in the air. It's humanoid, but not quite human, and the suit could easily pass as the Ultra Beast itself, just as much as the theory was taken over by the sludge. And the tongue poking out from the visor helped make the design a little more playful, less disturbing, but still disgusting.
I like UB Corrosion.
It's over. So, to end off with the most ridiculous note of the bunch, here's UB Torment. The story behind this one is compelling, I assure you. Now, hating horror movies for being too disturbing is pretty justified, right? But what if I told you that I was more afraid, back in the day, not now, of completely non-threatening kid stuff? The number one thing that haunted me as a child wasn't the Blob or my fear of mental instability, it was this logo.
Wait. Again? This is the Wait! I'm sorry, but hold on, really? Both Dead Bedspread and Bludgeon Heel were both terrified of logos as children? You know what? I'm not gonna question it. And I had the basic fear of spiders and heights as a child, so whatever. You feel what you feel, and that's it.
So, you may look at this and only see a silhouette of the River Thames, but as a child, I thought this was a grinning ghost with its arms out! My kid self could at least understand the realism behind horror movies, but I was terrified of what I couldn't comprehend. So this stupid video logo was my sleep paralysis demon for years! And doing research and remembering stuff for this video reminded me of an old game called Rugrats: The Search for Reptar, and the mission where you fend off those shadow monsters that gave me 1 or 2 nightmares back in the day.
Classic.
Thank you. Finally, I'm feeling a little sane in this video. As a result, I turned my sleep paralysis demon, which I reiterate is a dumb logo of a river, into a bedridden shadow demon. I turned what I thought was a grinning ghost with its arms out into a grinning ghost with its arms out. I just removed Big Ben and St. Paul's from his forehead. Given the River Thames cuts through the silhouette, it gave the beast 4 arms, but each pair works together to keep the illusion, and they're wriggling like the shadow monsters. Fortunately, being an Ultra Beast meant I could get away with the bed for a base because it's really stupid. Though I did miss an opportunity to have it shrouded by the bed sheets like a classic ghost costume, though I felt that would ruin the body shape and take away from the design. The main thing is its floating upper body and grin made from the negative space. With any luck, the main takeaway from this video are 5 kooky and quirky Ultra Beasts that may or may not be involved with the 2-4 region, and not their less than stellar inspirations. I may have covered some timely terrors from yesteryear today, but trust me, Halloween is only gonna get so much worse. Oh, for that, Geo, you'll have to wait until next time. My final Halloween video for this year will see the season off with a crowbar to the head from Instant Regret. But until then, vote on your favorite Ultra Beast and tell me why down below before you go, and thank you all for stopping by. Happy Halloween, everyone!
And happy Halloween to you as well. Oh, she fainted.
I tried to warn her.
Well, folks, I guess that's gonna be the end of today's video. So, I want you all to remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Down in the description will be a link to the original video, so remember to support the original creator and all they do. And I'll see all of you folks next time when we flick on. This is Fox, signing out, and happy Halloween to you all.